Hello and welcome to another short interview for the IATiP community. Today I'm joined with Séverine Renault from
Yes.
AND International. So Séverine, could you please let me know about your background and your organisation?
Yes, thank you. Our organization, AND International, is a small consulting company based in Paris. It was established over 40 years ago. It's specialized in agriculture, fisheries, food, economics and policies, and by extension, since the past 10 years or so, we've also been doing rural development and integrated maritime policy. We mainly work almost exclusively, I would say, for the public sector. Our main clients are the European Commission, the French government, the regional authorities, and occasionally we can work for private organizations like trade organizations or cooperatives, for example. Our core expertise, I would say, is the evaluation of public policies, but we also do different types of studies like market analysis, and we contribute to a couple of observatories, including EMODnet, which we will talk about today. And as far as I'm concerned, my original background is in business, and I've been with AND International for 15 years now. I've been a partner for over 10 years, so that's it.
Very good, thank you. And so could you describe a little bit about the project that we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, sure. EMODnet is the European Marine Observatory for and Data Network. It launched 10 years ago. It includes several portals like bathymetry, biology, seabed habitats, and human activities. We are working exclusively on the human activities one. And this was launched a bit after the other ones. The project started in 2013. The main objective of the Human Activities Portal is to make geographical data on all types of human activities related to the maritime activities freely available at one place. It includes 17 data sets. So aquaculture is one of them. There is also one on algae production, fisheries, but also by different things like dredging, wind farms, mine traffic. It's fairly comprehensive.
Okay, so what is the information used for, and who are the intended stakeholders? So who are the intended users?
Well, the intended users are almost everybody who is interested. But when we look at who actually uses it, we see that there's a lot of scientists, research institutes, public authorities sometimes as well, NGOs. We find more this type of stakeholders than really economic operators.
Okay, great. So would you like to share your screen?
Sure.
And then can you share your screen, or do you need me to allow you to do that?
I think I can do it here. You see it. Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
You see it now?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind just showing us around the system and particularly the aquaculture part, that'd be great, please.
Right. So here's the central portal. So you can see the different portals available on EMODnet. Then we come to the human activities one. And here are the different data sets available. So if we look at the aquaculture, we have 3 types of data so far. One for marine finfish production, one for shellfish, and one for freshwater production, which is the only data set that is not really related to marine activities, but it made sense to have a comprehensive overview of the aquaculture production.
Okay.
So, for example, if we look at the finfish production, here there is a typology that we built based on the information available in the species.
Mm-hmm.
It is not comprehensive because it depends on what is available at national level. The point of EMODnet is not to, we don't collect data ourselves. The point is to harmonize and put together everything that already exists. We've used a variety of sources. Generally, it's national sources. For the shellfish production, we also initially used EU-funded project, Euroshell,
mm-hmm.
But it was carried out in 2014, and it wasn't a project that was meant to be updated. So we are progressively replacing by national data where it's available. So as you can see, there are a few data gaps.
Mm-hmm.
But here for the finfish production, we have data from Finland, Denmark, Norway, Scotland, Ireland, Spain, and Greece, and Malta and Cyprus.
Yeah.
So the color shows the different types of farms. If you look at, let's say, if we look at Ireland, you can zoom here. So Ireland, here's an example. So here it gives the type of farm based on the species. The information is whether, because in Ireland, for example, we have polygons and we convert them into points, whereas in other countries we have points already. Where available, we have the production method, production stage, which would be hatchery or grow out, for example, purpose, like commercial research. And then these are yes, no, but this frame is being updated. Actually, it will look more like the shellfish one in the next update. So if you look at Scotland, okay, Scotland, we have a bit more information on production stage, and we also have the owner name. What we calculate in EMODnet is the distance to coast.
Yep.
It's our own calculation, and whereas it's at sea or within the coastline. For the shellfish production, zoom out. So it's basically the same thing. In terms of format, we've changed a little bit. So now we don't have all this list of species, but we are making the link with the Eurostat classification. So species group and species name are based on Eurostat classification now, and that's what we are trying to do on the 3 data sets. Other functionalities, like if you want to filter, for example, and look at, well, mussel is not maybe the most interesting, but mixed other, where you have different types of species, and you want to see where there are, here you have the list of species that we have in the different places. So something that is a bit less common, for example, if you want to see where you have clams only. Did it work? Oh, because, no. Let's see. Just put here, and here you only have the ones that have clams.
Excellent. Okay. And so is it possible to download data from this system, a full data set? Absolutely.
That's the point. If you want to download, you just have to click here on the arrow. And you have the download. You can download the data, download the metadata, or have it. You can either download the full data or have it as a WFS or WMS link.
Great, okay.
But the principle is that the data should be freely and totally accessible.
Excellent, okay. And do you have any plans to include seaweed aquaculture, or are you just focusing on finfish and shellfish for the moment?
It's been in discussion. We haven't really looked at it. At this stage, we have, there is another data set on alga production that is
oh yeah,
that is based on a work done by the GRC.
Yeah.
In IND International, we don't work on this directly. It's COGIA who works on it. Yeah, I forgot to mention in the beginning that on this project, EMODnet Human Activities, we are part of a consortium that is led by COGIA, an Italian company, and we also work with 2 Spanish research institutes, SETMA and ASTI.
Oh yeah.
A British company, Lovell Jones, who does the IT work, and Eurofish, which is based in Denmark.
Okay. And what's the project called?
That's EMODnet Human Activities.
Oh, specifically EMODnet Human Activities. Okay, that's great. All right. Would you mind stopping sharing your screen?
Yes. No, I mean.
Excellent. Yeah. So what I'd like to know is, how can I guess it's relatively clear how the Irish community can benefit, particularly for researchers, but how would they be able to make sure that their data is being contributed?
Well, we go through national authorities. So what we get is the data they deliver to their national authorities. Now, depending on the country, the data can be more or less complete. We have 2 kinds of issues in some countries where the data is not is only partial. For example, in Greece, the information on the species is very generic. We only have Mediterranean species, so we can't do much with it. Whereas in Norway, it's very detailed. But there's also an issue of confidentiality. In some countries, there's more data collected than what we actually get. Yeah. The really good example for that is Norway. Norway provides everything. We didn't put it yet because it's only available in Norway, but they even provide publicly on the internet the capacity of each site. Yeah, we have the owner name. I mean, everything is available. Scotland is quite good as well. In Ireland, for example, we get the species and the production method, which is good, and it's really the most interesting, I would say. But we don't get the information on the owner names, and we don't get the information on production stages either, whether it's hatchery or grow out and things like this. It's fairly complete still. So really, we have this discrepancy depending on the country, and I guess the more data, the better the data provided by the economic operators to their national authorities, the better it is for us. And then it's within each country what the industry accepts to be freely to be made public, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously the data is always changing, but I wonder at what stage you feel that the database is likely to be complete.
If we could have, well, at this stage, in terms of coverage, we clearly have important gaps. Well, for example, here in the shellfish industry, we don't have Spain. So here we're in discussion with the Spanish authority because they have the data and they have their online tool. It's more a matter of how they can provide us the data, because it's not downloadable on their website, whereas on EMODnet it would be. So there's this issue of seeing how we can work it out, but it should be we should be able to have it hopefully soon. I would say that if we could have the data, at least from countries where there is a significant production, that would be and with the possibility to update the data every year. Because, for example, in Finland, we had data at some point, but we don't manage to get updates. So now it's 3 or 4 years old. But if we could have the information on countries that represent maybe 80%, I'm saying a gross number, but 80% of the production, I think it would be quite valuable. Yeah. At this stage, we still have major gaps.
And do you have a timeline on your project?
Not really.
Okay.
No, we are following up. We try to do yearly updates. So every year we check every country where we already have the data. We also check countries where we don't have the data to make sure to check if something new has come up. We contact national authorities to know if they have any change, or if, but sometimes the people change. When it's available online, it's easy. In Ireland, we have a good contact with the national authorities. So even when people have changed, we have managed to keep the relationship and to get the data. But in some other countries, when the people change, then you have to start all over again and find again the relevant person. And so it's a continuous process.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's good to know that you've got a good contact in Ireland. So obviously they can go on the website to have a look, but how would they get in touch with you if they'd like more information, please?
There is a, to zoom out. There is you have a contact page on the website, so it's easy to contact. When you download the data, also I think you have the possibility to explain which purpose you want the data for, which is quite interesting for us, because it also can give us an idea of knowing what it is used for, also help us thinking of how it could be improved and things like this. But you can send an email through the website, and we do follow up. There's a help desk as well.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you very much indeed for spending time talking to us today.
Thank you. Can I say just one more thing about the contribution also? If you want to submit data, if you know of data that is not already in the website, there is a submit data button.
Great.
And so you can provide data. We will look at it and see if it's relevant for us, and that really that's an important tool for us.
That's great. All right. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.